Hi, I'm Trina Lane and we're here for another makeup tutorial, and this is Bree.
Hi.
With foundation, I like to kick off underneath the eyes, and then all you're doing with the foundation is you're working it into the skin. Think push it in. Think tiny little circles, working that in. Again, at the jawline, making sure that we are bringing it down into the neck. This way too, we just don't end up with a weird, intense foundation line. And you want to make sure you have enough product on the forehead that we're kind of completing tone from forehead to chin, but just make sure that you're not coming in too heavy, especially on us fairs and blondes. I feel like the hairline picks up on product, just like that. Make sure we're covering every little inch of skin. I call these areas like my little nooks and crannies. Get into every little crevice and cover it all up with foundation. Concealer is kind of safe to work with as a gentle eye base, so this way our shadows have something to stick to, but it can also serve as like a nice little highlighter in certain parts of the face, or if foundation couldn't conceal anything, you can gently sneak in a little bit of concealer in those areas as well. So with my sponge once again, so this way I'm not adding extra oil to the product, closing the eye. I like to bring it right onto the eyelid as such. Think lash line, working it all the way up to the eyebrow, and you want to cover the whole width of the eye. And you're working it from side to side, top to bottom, and then just open there, Bree, so everyone can kind of see where we're going. And then I'm just going to have you look out and down for me, so I can sneak into that little corner there. And then repeat on the other side. Dropping in that little excess right there, and we're going to be very gentle to massage that to create our little bit of our highlighter right in there. And then you could also do a little bit on the Cupid's bow, making sure everything's nice and blended, and then taking a peek at the camera. Next up, we want to take a translucent or a matte powder, and we're going to set that onto the eyelids in preparation for eyeshadows to come next. And you're just giving the eyelid a gentle little squeeze. Even though we're going to be doing like more of the no makeup look, I'm still a fan of working with tones that can bring out Bree's eyes. So I'm going to stick with softer pinks and some champagnes. A little shimmer can also serve as a highlighter, but again, if your eyes are tired, watery, red, irritated, don't touch shimmers with a 10-foot pole. Maybe stick with more mattes. But incorporating a little on the front end here of the eyes can start to really pick up on that eye color a little bit. And I'm just going to start to work in this little bit of a color right along the crease. Again, you want to make sure with crease that we're not coming too far up into the eyebrow hair, and you definitely want to make sure that we're not bringing it too far out and down on the sides. And then again, grabbing your other brush, and you just want to start massaging these two tones together. You can also even take a little bit of this taupey color and just dust a little bit, think pupil out along the bottom. And by doing pupil out, turn a little this way, we don't accidentally, again, kind of close off the eye a little too much. There, I'm just taking a peek there. With eyeliner too, you want to exercise caution. The idea is not, here comes my eyeliner. It should be nice and skinny and not overpowering the whole eyelid. So next up, we're going to complement the eyes with a little mascara. I'm a fan of rolling my brush in nice and close to that base of the eyelash. So this way we create some volume and some nice lifting. And you're just gently taking your time and blink anytime you need to there, Bree. In fact, blinking is kind of nice. It's a little pressure on the tool. And I love this finished part. I feel like this really pulls the eyes together, really makes the colors pop. So next up, we're going to be doing some face building. So I'm going to have Bree smile, and by her smiling, I can now see muscles are ignited. This is kind of my little guide as to where I'm going to be going with my contour. You want to just gently kind of follow the natural bone structure, and you're just gently easing it in, massaging it in. Again, making sure we don't bring it past the natural laugh line in here, but just staying along the cheekbone. And then I'm going to have Bree turn away just a smidgen, and then I'm going to complement it over on the other side. Again, just following the natural curves of the face. Generally want to bring a little bit up into the temples, but just try not to brush it right into the hairline. Again, adding a little as you go along is probably safer than coming up too heavy and then having to try and buff it all out. So just gently adding that in a little bit there, and kind of just go a little side to side so everyone can see that. Very nice. And then just a little bit down the nose. So just gently kind of taking care of that as well. And then our next step is we're going to grab our big fat powder brush, and I'm not massaging it anywhere else. I'm still kind of following suit here. And I'm just gonna gently blend everything together. Massaging that in. Just like that, sneaking in. Now to complete your contouring, the next step would be to incorporate a little bit of a pink blush. I'm a fan of bright pinks. I feel like that creates, again, more feeling of healthy skin. So I'm gonna have Bree smile for me. You wanna follow the apple of the face, and the technique is just to kind of gently feather it in. Less can be more, especially again when you're dealing with more fair skin. We're not gonna leave it like this. We're still gonna make everything blend. Again, big fat powder brush. Give it a nice little hug. And in this way too, you can kind of pull it back towards the ear. So this way it's complementing your contour. Continue on my brushing here. Make sure everything's nice and blended. And this wraps up how to build the face. So next up is eyebrows. Again, I like to kick off right in the arch, and I'm just gonna follow the hairs. Just working that in just like this. Even by doing a little bit like that, already it's pulling the eyes up a little bit. Sometimes our eyebrows aren't quite similar. And the idea is not to make them look like twins. You probably heard the saying, make them look like sisters. Create a little definition down along the bottom for the front, along in here as well. And then a gentle brush up. I'm just gonna finish it off with a brush. And I think this looks perfect. Okay, next up, we're gonna be putting on a really beautiful bold lip. We're gonna prep the lip, because if this is a long day, we're gonna make sure that this lip's gonna stay put. The idea is not to make the lip white, because yes, I'm using my sponge that has foundation and concealer on it, but I also wanna dry out the lips just a little bit. I'm gonna grab a little bit of product here. I'm gonna give you a good healthy dose here. And then what you're gonna do is mark that baby in for me. Very nice. And then just stay just like that. I'm still a fan of a brush. I just like that technique where you can kind of really press it in, draw, recreate the lip line if need be. Bree's got a beautiful lip to work with already. A lot of pressing, a lot of dragging. Now, for the center, top, and bottom of a bold lip, even though we have a beautiful lip to work with, you can still exaggerate just that little bit on the top part. Creates a little bit more volume. So no matter your age, ladies, you can put a little bit more extra on that top part. And that concludes a beautiful bold lip.